Alright my peeps, alright sports to the bone family. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing okay. Hope the day is going good so far. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that first T20 game between the West Indies and Australia tomorrow morning. Now we are slated to play 2 games, and as I said, the first one will be bright and early tomorrow. So I'm going to be giving you my plain 11, or not a possible 11, or 11 that I think West Indies will play. This is not me guessing the plain 11. This is me giving you the one that I personally would work with. And as per usual, the comment section will be open for you to go ahead and list your 11 players. And remember now guys, 1 player or 2 players cannot play against another team. So, I know people are going to say, where's such and such, where's such and such. So the best way to solve that situation is to list such and such in your team and put the full team that you want to play in the comment section. Alright, so I am thinking about Kyle Mayers at the top. Right, he goes without saying, he has definitely done enough work to get himself there. The next person that I am thinking is going to be between for this game at least, maybe not so for the World Cup, but for this game at least, just to get a look at everybody, I would probably go it's tied between Johnson, Charles and Lewis for that opening slot. Not that not that Brandon King isn't in the team. Brandon King is definitely in the team, but I'm probably going to bat him at 3. So that it's the decision is between those 2 players for the next opening slot between Lewis and Johnson, Charles. And I think that we all know that Evan Lewis, is a very, very good T20 player. But I think Johnson Charles has done enough to at least get a look in one of these games. One will say that it was only the CPL that he performed in, but he still did some work and wiggled his way in. We don't know where Lewis's fitness is. We don't know where his form is and all of that. So as much as how I hate to watch a T20 game, a West Indies T20 game without Lewis and Hetmeyer in there, I think for the first game I'm going to say, all right, let's give Johnson Charles and Kyle Mayers a look in. Then we go Brandon King at 3. And at 4 we go Nicholas Pooran. Shimran Hetmeyer is not there, so at 4 we go Pooran. At 5 we go Ravman Powell, the vice captain. He would have indicated that he liked the idea of batting in the top 5, 4, 5, anywhere thereabout. But with Hetmeyer in the team, that don't usually happen. The fact that Hetmeyer is out now, we probably can have him doing his thing there at number 5. Then we're gonna have Jason Holder. Jason Holder seems to be hitting back some good form both with bat and ball, so he would come in and slot in right there. Then we will also have Odin Smith. Odin Smith is the next player, and he's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Odin Smith at 7. Then Akil Hussain at 8, and at 9 we will have probably Karaya. At 10 we have Joseph, and then 11 we have Obed McCoy. So those are the players that I am looking to get in the playing 11 for tomorrow. So once again, Kyle Mayers, Johnson Charles / Lewis. I still don't make up my mind as yet between the 2, but as I said, Charles would have done some work to get at least a look in. Brandon King, Pooran, Powell, Holder, Smith, Hussain, Karaya, Joseph and McCoy. But that is the way I would do it. But let me say this, if I take a look at the West Indies team and I see they have Brandon King and Kyle Mayers opening and having somebody else at 3 and then Pooran, Powell, I wouldn't really have an issue with it, my piece, because those 2 guys would have done enough work. I see under some of my posts where some persons are saying that Johnson Charles should be in the team and Brandon King should be sitting, and they are saying that we are being biased. But let me just iron this out, and this is my way of looking at it. If Johnson Charles should be in the team and Brandon King should be sitting, and you are going off the performance of the CPL, I'm not too sure how that would make any sense, because Brandon King outplayed Johnson Charles in the CPL, and also leading up to the CPL, all the international games that we played, the T20 games, Brandon, the ones that he played, majority of them, he got good scores. You understand? So I'm not too sure how it would be that persons that are selecting Brandon King ahead of Johnson Charles is being biased. when Johnson Charles was outplayed by King in the CPL, and King would have established a partnership with Kyle Mears leading into the CPL. You understand? As I said, there's room for Johnson Charles in that squad. It goes without saying, there's room for him in the squad. But I'm just wondering, you know, how they would do it. But that is how my team would look, my peeps. And as I said, going into this game against Australia, it is very important for us to take a look at the way in which we play the game. Australia, they have been chasing down of 200, 190, 180 with ease from the other day. So, you know, if we're batting first, we have to look round about, I don't want to say 200, I don't want to push it and say 200, but we have to be looking to score at least 180, 185. Not saying that is a winning total every day of the week, but that it's better to be up there. You understand? Not every day teams are going to be making 220, 230. But if you can get 185, 190 on a regular basis, that will definitely do good for you. And if we're bowling first, why, the ideal thing is to restrict Australia for in the 160s, 170s, but I'm not too sure how that is going to go, especially seeing how our bowlers have been performing in the CPL recently. Not a lot of these guys have experience playing in Australia. I think in that team there, definitely Jason Holder. Not too sure if Nicholas Pooran would have gone there before. And not talking about the Big Bash though, you know, guys. Not talking about the Big Bash where international cricket is concerned. Not a lot of these guys would have played international cricket in Australia before. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they adapt, how they play on those bigger fields. You know, that is something that is expected to challenge our guys in the World Cup also. So, you know, there are quite a few different things that I am going to be looking forward to seeing in this game tomorrow. How the captain will be, you know, moving his bowlers around, who will be setting his field. You know, he didn't get any practice leading into this series here. It's always good when you're a captain and you're not on international duty, when you're still able to captain whatever franchise you're playing with. You know, you get a chance to put certain tactics into play, as much as though it's going to be a different set of players, so the tactical maneuvers might be a little bit different, but you know, it's always good to see captains leading even when they're not on international duty. So one thing is for sure, or one thing is certain, you know, Ravman Powell will need to work with his captain, especially coming out of a CPL winning campaign as a captain. So we're going to be keeping an eye on it, my viewers and subscribers, to see how it go. But that is the playing 11 that I would work with. You know, as I said, the comment section is open. Just go ahead in the comment section and let me know the playing 11 that you would work with for this game. Go and big up on yourself, my peeps, and we'll touch base later on. Big up.